Welcome to Nevermind the Furthermore. Wait a minute, this music isn't right, the scene isn't right. Hang on. That's more like it. And now it's time for the show for all creatives. Nevermind the Furthermore. Your source for conversation, inspiration, and fun. With your host, Nicholas Anthony Tockert. He's an artist, a writer, a swordsman, and a game designer. He knows how to use the sword and axe in historical battles without anybody getting hurt too much. He's also the Manatee Man, master of marketing. And he may even have a guest or two. One thing, though, to be certain. Just don't call him a cryptid. With that, it's about time for the show. So sit back, enjoy, and have some coffee and chat with us.
Good morning, Nevermornings. I'm your host with the most, Mr. Nicholas Anthony Tockert, coming at you over the airways on WNTF. Nevermind the Furthermore. Nevermind the Furthermore is brought to you with the love and support of our good friends over at the Independent Creator Directory. That's ndcd.org. Your one-stop shop for the best and the brightest authors, artists, and musicians. We're also made possible by the sales of the Simple Sword, the Fighting Axe, and the Simple Spear, all part of my ongoing series of Western martial arts manuals designed to help you go from having never handled the sword to teaching the art to others. And Hates and Hellfire. A dark secret has claimed 2 lives and is hunting an innocent child at the edge of the Appalachian Mountains. Only his aunt, a plucky reporter, her cameraman, and a very odd cat stand against the forces of darkness. Hello, everyone. Happy Friday, and boy, does this week need it. Wow. Behind the scenes, it has been a very spicy time for yours truly, but we have navigated it. We have agitated it, and we have infuriated this week into mostly doing our bidding. Yesterday was a very busy day for me, as next week is the Blasters for Books program, wherein kids who have been members of the Benton County Public Library Summer Reading program will be receiving free Nerf blasters that I have acquired. A few more need to be cleaned up, and I still have to go through a couple totes more, but we are getting by. I also had, because of some personal matters, a unexpected live stream because I was planning to do some unboxing and recording, etc. So we can look forward to that, to the reviews that were done for Nick Knows Nerf. I just have to get a hold of some batteries, and folks, isn't that all of us right now? My accountability has been a little on the minimal side because I've been given some new projects with rapid approaching deadlines. So I will be tending to that. I want to put a big shout out to Dawn, who, while guild related, upgraded her Patreon service because I may be giving her a little bit of online mentorship, assistance, whatever, in the fine art of Western martial arts. So I'm very pleased with this. Um, right now, my weekend is very up in the air. I have a lot to get done and a lot to catch up on, but we're okay with that because that means I am going to be busy. Um, and that's how I like it. I like having plans and things to do. If the weather is not pure hellscape, I will be doing a little bit of mowing, a lot of cleaning, a lot of moving things around. We'll see. Uh, Beyond that, this is the last day for Prime Day for anyone who is looking for the Amazon sales. They don't affect my books, but you can still buy my books. It's a great time to do it. And many other people's books that you can find on Amazon. Just look up my name. Uh, I know I seem scattered, and I know I've been scattered this week. I want to apologize. Like I said, I've had some fairly significant things going on in the background. A lot of it is stories that aren't quite mine to tell, but those who know me know I've been on the clock pretty heavy. Uh, it's going to be that way. Now, I did get some great questions, great uh, subjects for discussion, so I want to get into that. One of them is why. Is it why? It's how do you come up with these worlds, Nick? Because people who've read some of my sci-fi and certainly dealt with me as a DM slash GM slash game designer know strange universes exist in my head. And I suppose it's a good time to break into some of the secrets of that. So, if you are looking for world building from an incredibly experienced improvisational GM, game master for those in the know, um, world building is a delightful mix of internalized ideas, uh, rampant and appropriate borrowing of IPs, and just simply being able to daydream with full 1080p, 4K color, whatever. You should be able to walk around your world if you're building it. Now, many people don't really engage in much world building or don't think they do because they are um, basing something in reality. However, I would go so far to say, and pardon me if I'm being a bit philosophical, that setting your uh, story, whatever it is, in reality as we know it, is an incredible amount of world building because my version of reality is going to be radically different than, say, Joe Bachman's version of reality, which will be radically different than, say, Carl Witzman's. Everyone's personal reality is very different, and everyone's perception of the world is very different. And the reality of where we are right now in the land of corn, where not much happens, if you keep your head down, you can survive a lot of things, is radically different than the reality of somewhere like LA or Chicago, even. Certainly radically different than the halls of power in DC, which are all, again, insanely different than quote unquote reality in the Ukraine right now, or in Moscow, or in Beijing, or Buenos Aires. Heck, reality right now in Rio de Janeiro is probably quite different. And that's the thing. We will always put our spin of our uh, experiences, our sources, our um, perceptions into how we see reality. And looking around from that, you start getting the tremendous amount of fiction that we actually live in. See, I'm really going to mess with you guys. Many people think that nonfiction is this fairly common. Uh, let me do that. There we go. That should fix that problem. Sorry. Um, that nonfiction is this very rigid. Well, it's reality. Is it though? It the reality you dictate will always be filled with your mind filling in the gaps. So if you don't really know how you want to write nonfiction, I write fiction, especially if you want to go more elaborate. Start looking at what you think you know versus what you actually know. I could grab, since many and indeed the majority of my viewers are in the United States right now, I could grab any state in the union and I could say, okay, if I say, what's going on in Minnesota when you think of Minnesota, or what's going on in Oregon right now? It's highly likely you don't actually know, but there are images. For example, for a lot of people, if you talk about a state like Minnesota, North Dakota, Washington, the state, not the, you have images of a specific season. There is summer in Minnesota. There is winter in Oklahoma. Not all Texas is populated by cowboys. But our brain fills these things in. We have our ideas. So to the person who was asking about building fictional worlds and saying, I don't think I can do it. I'm just too grounded in reality. No, you're not. You're not. You're grounded in a mix of your experiences, your processing, your biases, both good and bad. We'll say positive and negative. Good and bad, it gets real subjective real fast. But what do I mean by that? So it is fairly well known that travel is the cure for ignorance. And many objects that are related to it. The more you get around, the more you see, the more you're likely to go, oh. Now, I've only gotten around a little bit. Most of the continental U.S., big swath of Canada. And, the major bodies of water. So Pacific, Atlantic. Think all the Great Lakes. I still think there might be one I've missed. That's a little, can't remember if it's Huron or Erie. I mean, I've seen them all, but I've only been in a few. I like to stick my feet in large bodies of water just to say I was there. But the Gulf of Mexico, as it was called at the time, I have some theories about all that, but that's neither here nor there. So what you do is you start comparing. And you can literally do this as an exercise. Randomly select any location in the world, right? This is a good writing exercise. And write down what you think you know about it. Okay? Then, if possible, go there. If not possible, look online. See if you pick somewhere populated enough. Maybe you can look through street cams. Look through, what PBS, what educational sites have to say about it. Look at tourism boards. Look at what you can and research it and see how different from the research alone a place may be, because it may indeed fool you. Ironically, I live in a little tiny town of Earl Park, Indiana. It's like you're doxing yourself. There are 6 people in a, what, 6? I think there might be, oh, because we've lost a few. Maybe 10 Tockerts in the entire country? Maybe? So it's not like I'm hard to look up. But that being said, because I live a very quiet and a very isolated life relative to my town, I can't even tell you what's really going on in the great town of Earl Park all that much. I haven't made it to town council meetings. I don't, because I don't drink. I don't end up at the recreational areas such as they are, such as the bar or whatever. I don't attend any of the churches that are out here. Most of my time is spent taking care of my son, um, and doing crafts and streaming for you guys. So, less than a mile away is a chunk of the world I know sociologically relatively little about. I have enough understanding from I worked at the library, so I got a little bit of input there. But when you think of how many people live in a town and realize there's restaurants you've never set foot in, stores you've never bothered to stick your nose into, for one reason or another, can you really say you know the area? Or do you know your route, your regular trappings through the area? My point is, and it's a very dangerous point because it's philosophically troubling, so I'll let you guys chew on that. I can't wait to see what my comment section has to say about all this. If you doubt that you can write, fiction and world building, my friend, my ducky, darling, you do every minute of every day. Every time you watch the news, every time you watch a movie. For example, did you know Mexico doesn't have a yellow filter over your eyes? I know this is shocking. Look at any movie set in Mexico. They put this weird yellow filter over it so you know it's Mexico. Not sure why, but it's a thing. Somewhere around there's this wonderful uh, layered video on YouTube of every American movie set in the Middle East. The desert with heat waves, the singing, the camel chewing, someone with beautiful eyes, the greeting, hello, my American friend. It's just layers and layers, because that is the perception a lot of people have. It's like, I love the pictures of the Great Pyramids from above, where you realize that city is right there. It's just right there, and they kind of hide it. The point being, too, and it was a very good question to ask, and I want to try to pull the show back a bit more to its roots. uh, look at the fictions you write innately, and then you get to do a double version. You can both, you can either try to amend it and write about that, and especially if you change names, or the more fun one is you grab hold of the tropes and you just double down on them. A wonderful example is the people who look at New York from the perspective of like Seinfeld, and the people who look at New York from the perspective of the Warriors. Hey, Warriors, come out and play. If you know, you know. If you don't, you're probably too young. Don't look up that movie. It's bizarre. Delightful. Anyway, my point is, if you want, so we'll use New York as an example because I know very little of it. I've been in the state. I avoided the city like the plague because cities and I don't get along well. Consider the tech and Nick Field. Uh, you take your understanding of New York and what you think makes New York New York, and then you make it in your mind the New Yorkest New York to ever New York, right? If it's dank and crowded, you make it shoulder to shoulder everywhere at all times. If it smells, you make it reek. If it's loud, you make it unbearable. If it's dark at night, you make it Stygian. And then you call it, Ebony City or, something like that. Then you add neon in random places. And now you're halfway to a thing because you either have a gritty detective story, or if you add neon, maybe some holographics, tweakers with, you know, improvised prosthetics, hover jets. Now you're starting to get into the wonderful world of cyberpunk. You know, if you feel observed, you make it oppressive. The great trick to world building is take whatever you love, pinch of plagiarism, just a pinch, just a little, is so good. Salt Bay that plagiarism. Dial it all to 11, and then run with it. Rebrand and run. It's fairly easy to do. Now, whether you like the result or not, well, that will take tweaking, and the word craft to create the tone you want. Well, that's just part of learning to write better. Sorry, but you can do it. So don't hesitate. Now, if you have any other questions and you want me to continue on discussions like this, especially in this program, or even as separate, as a special, hit me up. Send me messages. I can make a presentation to help. All right. I hope this was helpful. And don't be afraid to apply your nightmares. Nightmares are wonderful resources. If you're going to have to endure them, you might as well profit from them. And that's why there's always just a smackerel of horror in any given object I write. It's always there. You just can't always find it. So with that, guys, I prattled for a bit. I'm going to run Joe's ad like I always do, but then I am over 100 comments in the hole, so we're going to hop and pop through those, and we'll see what I can do to help your day get a little better, be a little more entertained, and in general, just be a little bit cooler. So I'll see you in about a minute and a half. Busted. Okay. Stuart wanted to come on. And since I am not doing a lot of drawing or anything, I can take it easy. Now, I don't know why you said chicken fried. Okay, look, I opened up to chicken fried steak smothered in gravy, mashed potatoes, green beans, some corn and rice. Y'all are tormenting me. And hi, Dave. Maybe a bit before I get there, but good Lord in heaven. Okay, let me scroll on back up. All right. Should we? Okay, well, yes. What? What? Are you not comfortable? Look. I have to be able to work the mouse. That's part of the deal. Okay, there we go. Now, Foxy's first through the door. Morning, all. And we got greetings for Foxy from Carl. Hello, Carl. Good morning, lurkers anywhere. Yes, Foxy, you might have seen some Muncie gifts hanging out in your area. Ooh. Hey, Foxy and Woodsman dude. And where are you going? You may not have, no, Star Crunches are not for cats. Star Crunches are for fat old men who've done their job. Yes. Now, why are you being all lovey? No, do not sit on the keyboard. Okay. Sir, you are being disruptive. Yeah, I love you too. Anyway, now I see that Dawn is awake. Not that I am stalking her via the game. Hi, Donna. And just finished my fun bag, getting my fun bag ready. I thought you had two. Anyway, not the green room, but funny. I might be stopping by the green room tonight. I might even have a guest, depending on her mood, because it has been a week. And you go down then. Go down. Okay. Oh, my pyramid of power is down there. How am I supposed to contemplate my pyramid of power if it is down there? See? Must be able to contemplate my pyramid of power. It's only mildly cursed. No, actually, it's not even cursed. It gives a decent upgrade. And morning, all. Hello, Trelana, my dear. How are you? And Terre Haute rhymes with boat for the Muncie event. And we've got greetings for Trent. And Foxy's back. She's back again. Accountability, trying to talk down some writers on FB that were letting anxiety keep them from getting books out. Doesn't have to be perfect. No book ever is. Yes. Now, I admit I'm having a bit of writer's block in that I have too many projects to do and they're all bumping into each other. But considering what I am supposed to be working on, or what I'm choosing to work on, uh, it's going to be good. I just have to do some nonfiction and then some game stuff, and we should be back on track. Hey, Trey. And some of the dumbest things I've ever written were admired by others, so don't judge yourself. Indeed. Just think, if we're making huge fictional assumptions about places around us, what are we doing about the people? And Trey's greeting people. Thesis, hey, Thesis, we were just thinking about you earlier. I hope you're doing well. Thesis. And we got everybody's greeting Thesis. And morning, here comes the dawn. And Dawn is, of course, the mastermind, mistress mind, behind her fashionable felines, Buddy and Georgette, as well as, but not limited to. Yes, you're brilliant. Don't look at me in that tone of voice, young lady. Now you just need to lower your tone. Anyway. See, okay, here we go. Dawn is the hostess with the mostess. Oh dear. I am not contemplating Dawn doing an Elvira themed stream. I am not, and you can't make me. When her normal streams look like this. Carl said, I had a throwaway story once that's now been published twice. People tell me it was deep, so it encouraged me to keep writing. Rock on. The other thing you need to understand. Oh, okay. I am going to sound so arrogant and aloof. But let's be honest here, my friends. The vast majority of people in my chat, especially the ones who have been smart enough to like, share, and subscribe to this so that you don't miss anything, and so that the people in your lives get this wonderful content. We, as authors, and there are exceptions, tend to be a bit sharper, a bit smarter than the average bear. And the problem with being smarter than a statistical number of people is we forget that something we create that might feel dumb to us quite literally is brilliant to them because it is so far beyond the scope of their perceptions, expectations, or experiences. So you cannot demean your own work, no matter how farcical. I mean, there are a couple of the short stories in Through the Thinning Veil, as described from the wonderful people who actually read that book, that I've had people come up to me and go, how did you come up with this idea? And it's like, it was stupid. It was a silly little thought that came to my mind because we had been leaving, possibly one of the Resident Evil movies my wife and I were watching in college, dated, and dates. Woohoo! Good times. But the the and the go urban legend movie with the Noxema girl. You should know what I mean. Anyway, watching all the people come out and check their back seats and look under their car, which is novel because that's something I do all the time. I am a professional paranoid. But watching people nervously approach their vehicles, that started me because, amongst other things, I had seen a very gothic dressed woman do this. And if you are of gothic aesthetic and you are in possession of RBF, resting face, being a little spooked and carefully looking under your car and things to be safe from the monster or the psycho killer can rapidly look adorable to me. And that watching this sat in the back of my mind. And it became something. And it's one of the stories you can find in Hates. And not in Hates and Hellfire, in Through the Thinning Veil, a book by me available on Amazon. But yes, don't worry if your stuff is dumb. Worry if your stuff is done. Dawn? Pinky Wiggles. Remember, Sharknado is a wonderful 7-movie series and is beloved in many of our hearts. Heck, last night I was watching a badly dubbed, I want to say Chinese horror monster movie called Land Shark. Someone made money on this film. Just think about that. And greetings for Dawn. Have fun in Rhymes with Boat. I have an oil change this afternoon. Seems much less fun. Well, Dawn, that gives you a wonderful time to sit and read your books and prep your homework for what we were discussing earlier. Once the van is AC is fixed, we should take Trey and Dawn to Terre Haute and walk around the Greeny Cemetery. Ha! I don't know what a Greeny Cemetery is, but as a rule, I avoid cemeteries. Not because I have a problem with cemeteries. In fact, the vast majority of cemeteries, vast majority, not all, are quite neutral places. But idiots often appear around cemeteries, and I try to avoid them like the plague. Yeah, that doesn't sound like fun, Don. Maybe a deploy Koepp opportunity? This is how my mind works. When you take terms that don't mean the same thing to different people or quite as much, I was brought up both in a military / veteran household and in Michigan City at the turn of the millennium. So when I saw maybe it will be a deploy Koepp opportunity, my mind had this image of a van that's been sort of spaceshipized the way the Winnebago in Spaceballs was, swooping in, the doors opening, and Carl and Don and Trey popping out with these space-looking blaster rifles and the funky helmets, very Starship Troopery, just like pew, 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 because deploy means one thing and Koepp means something very different to like Kornick than Oh, you're capturing a Muncie for the game. This is great fun. A whole story could be launched using Muncie, but on a galactic scale, and make them have tangible, like, financial rewards so people get ruthless. Boom! Instant. The stories they write themselves. Also, hanging out with Brian K. Morris always supercharges my brain. And we've got greetings and back again. Hey, and nice. Nice back, Foxy. One of my best features. It's. I actually like walking around old cemeteries, so that's awesome. If you ever came down to visit, I could show you the Ford we have in town. So I think Inigo's new food is a hit. It's mixed with what was left of the old, and he's taking out the old stuff out and leaving one particular bite on the floor. Ah, dogs. LOL. And he doesn't like the red triangles from the baby food, I guess. Makes sense. And good morning and happy Friday! Oh, happy Friday. Happy Friday. See, we have to get you back feeling better, my beloved art goddess, so that we can go out on an art safari. I haven't done that in a while. I need to desperately. And you just need to be able to get healthy enough to go out dancing and doing all those fun things that you see in the background of any medication ad. Now, how are you, my dear? And we've got greetings for Kat. Now that he's got more, and we've got Indigo's food-related business, and you know who's the boss when you're sitting there picking out pieces of dog food for him. I've not gone that far yet. And don't forget to like and share, folks. I know you're subscribed. Thus, Donna has spoken. And I'm being greeted. Hey, Donna. She's saying, hey, Nick, and hey, Foxy, how you doing? Flings his leg on the pile. Ooh, colorful embroidered light. It's like into the nest of bees and long. Not a nest of bees. And Botrix makes a concrete mold of like button and adds it to the pile. Oh, that is awesome. Because right now, poor Trey, bless her soul. Trey is on a roll. Anyway, bless her soul. Trey is on a roll. She's doing concrete testing today, I believe. Feel free to make any number of beams or other concrete-related materials just kind of appear on my property. I would never mind. Oh, no, they're split. Oh, no, they'll look good for the next hole in my miniature golf course. Donna, just let me know when you want to feed the felines and we'll get on the road. Ooh, yes. And speaking of on the road, let's run an ad because we need to keep that rolling. One moment. I need to type faster. I'm terrible at that. Now, back to the comments. Now, where we got? And we are okay. Donald says, okay. That's right. It's going to be all right. Always remember to say it cool. Folks, we should be back long before Green Room, unless we take a wrong turn in Albuquerque. I almost ended up living in Albuquerque. Don't turn left at Albuquerque. Have a fun day. For those who don't know, Nest of Bees is a Chinese fire arrow launcher. Neat. Thanks. We'll try not to be too wascally. And Kat is greeting everyone, and Donna's saying hi to Headstock. Give her your love. We're going to talk about the Saturday thesis. Nope, but I could do that for a later stream. You should. On Mythbusters, they pronounced it Watcha. Is that right? Attempting to remove the nail polish while listening and typing. Multitasking. Sounds difficult. Huache are the fire carts and Yiwo Chung are the nest of bees. Minnesota has 2 seasons, SWAT and Shovel, and I know what this means. Oh gosh, that's funny. Not the green room. No construction season. That happens under the purview of SWAT. And we've got more greetings. A sub-season of SWAT. What did I say? Hex, yes. Hey, Kat. Calvin is staring at me. Mom said we are early lunch, Dad. Well, if you have to, you have to. Construction isn't a season. It's a way of life. We have Chip Seal coming at some point again. I barely remember Lake Michigan. But I remember my brother's accident in the car, and I remember driving the boat. Well, that's a start. Hey, Kat. Of course, out of 3, so yeah. Lake Michigan and I have a very interesting relationship in that it tried to eat me, and I remember. Somewhere in my brother's garage, probably, are my bottles of water and sand from each Great Lake. Weird, I know, but I was a weird kid. No, I was doing the same thing at one point, so it makes sense. And good morning, Houston, Texas, Dave. Hey, Dave. Caught us before we leave for an event. Gotta have my morning cup of Nerf Master Blaster coffee. Let's go. I didn't have time because I was doing other things this morning to throw batteries in that. But how could I not love? It's a binary trigger. Fire 1, fire 2. That is cool. I don't care who you are. Nick, it probably doesn't work that well. I don't care. LOL, all things good. Carl, are you going to the Indiana Muncie event today? If so, I will deploy more cards there. See? Yepers Terre Haute. It's a bouncing virtual garden there now, and we're missing it. But another one will come by. Sorry, Nick. All this game talk. Hey, I am but a host, inviting you to share what matters, to hopefully elevate what you do. And speaking of game, there may come a day where I do some game streams just because if I'm going to sit and game, I might as well. Hey, Dave. Morning, Boxing and Contrite. Hey, Dave. I have some duties to go, so everyone have a great day. See some of you miscreants tonight. Okay, well, bye-bye. Hi, Dave. Yeah, you guys have a good one. Have a great day. Stay cool and all that. Morning, Art Goddess. Small country towns have the best local restaurants. Okay. If you see semi-trucks parked in a gravel parking lot at a restaurant, it is good. If you see tractor... Guys, you know what? Come here. If you see farm equipment at a restaurant, okay, especially like there's dirt on the farm equipment at a restaurant, guys, it's going to be good, and the portions are going to be excellent. Now just back up a bit, and we'll get back to the show. They really can. Well, the best burgers I've ever had is tiny place spot called Green River here in Utah. It's a blink and you'll miss it, the place, but that little bar, wow. There is a place called Leroy's that someday I'm going to make it up there in time for their fish tacos because they're legendary. Down here, if you go to the Good Table, it's just great food. And Green Bay Packers material. And their shit. Saturday show link, chicken fried steak. That brings up smothered in gravy, mashed taters, and green beans, some corn, and iced tea. Sir, that's cruel. That's cruel and unusual punishment right there. That is villainy. I love it. Stuart, oh, hi. Here, I'll move that. Hello. Come on. Come on. You're not in trouble. Come on. You can come through. I'll move stuff. You might as well. Everybody else does. Come on. Or you just gonna sit there. We have a voluntary. Yeah. Yeah. Are you coming? Where are you? No. Snicky. Hey. What are you doing, sir? A rare voluntary snicky view. Come on. You're coming by on the stream. You know what that means. That means I can grab this. A sneaky. Snickerdoodle. My special boy. How are you? You okay? Yeah. It's okay. It's okay, Snicky. My long Tom. Snicky is learning it's okay to be cuddled. Because both Snicky and Boots, who you probably will never see, were rather traumatized when I acquired them. But it's the only way to keep them safe. Yeah. Yeah, do you see yourself? Oh, you ready to get down? Okay. Down we go. Come on. Those two, especially Snicky. He's such a svelte little cat that I'm always worried he's not eating enough. But he's quite healthy. He's just built lean and long. And greetings for Stuart when he came in. And Cat. And that's the reaction I had too. And the babies. Nice doodle art. Thank you. Welcome to my nightmares, folks. Professional paranoid. Yeah, that checks. Yep. Nails are naked. Oh my. Okay. I've been naked since a while. I can let some of the damage grow out. I see. And anytime I start to demean my own writing, I remember some of the awful books I've read or I've seen. I still cringe at the movie Little White Dragon. Foxy and I watched the whole thing and kept waiting for it to make sense. And when it was about over, I cannot tell you anything about the plot. Banged my thumb pretty bad a while back and broke the nail off, so it's growing back. Okay, you have to be careful with that. And I generally give them a day or a couple days to breathe, but I may be hanging out with Regina at a vendor event. Maybe wait and do them at the event. Maybe. Kat's surgery is scheduled for next month. You will be deeply in our prayers and thoughts constantly, Kat. Good luck, Kat, and sending all the pinky wiggles and love. Thanks. Best of luck, Kat. Thanks, Foxy. I highly suggest seeing if you can find a Peep stuffed bunny. Yeah, completely out of season. The ears make the best stress squeezers when pain hits. Oh, that's awesome. Good luck, Kat. I've been through the hip replacement, so I know some of what's in store for you. Thanks, Don. And happy Friday. Happy Friday, Cindy Koepp. And I haven't ran her ad in a bit, so I'm going to run her ad. Actually, I have run her ad, but I want to run it today. So let's just go find. There it is. And I am still. See, there we are. And let's see. And check out Nevermind the Furthermore this morning. So go back in time nearly an hour, and you can watch this show. Hey, Cindy. It retains its flavor even on reviewing. And get the rest of them, the Nevermind the Furthermore, that is, at youtube.com/at Nicholas Tockert. Hi-oh! Thesis, was yours a partial or total? Mine's a complex total. And hi, Cindy, and patreon.com/the Historical Fencing Guild. Yes, if you want to help me keep doing the insanity that I do, find art at deviantart.com/NickT. Left total replacement cat. Snap the top of the bone clean off. And tonight we'll be here at 8 o'clock my time, 7 o'clock hers for the Historical Fencing Guild. And after that, a Spinal Fusion comes next. But I'm hoping to postpone it till next year's summer break. I hope so too. I can relate to the fusion. Man, we are a mess. But birds of a feather, yes. And wow, Thesis. Get stories about big stompy monsters in a melee with haints and hellfire through the thinning veil with simple swords. Indeed. At amazon.com/store/Mr. Nicholas Anthony Tockert, the second/author /B07P26PSF3. Don, we a hot mess, and capitalize the hot in that. Hot Mess Express. Woo woo. And Waller Defense, absolutely. Go to my store and you can read The Simple Sword, The Fighting Axe, The Simple Spear, all part of my ongoing series of Western martial arts manuals designed to help you go from having never handled the sword to teaching the art to others. It's not like I say that line frequently. Hey there. Hi, Sophia. I'm new to your stream. How are you? We're doing really well. I'm just fighting myself. Autoimmune issues are fun. It happens. And Abdallah Harmon 7 Marwan. Yo, what's good, Unc? Hey, everything's good. I'm still above the ground. Life is holding up, and we are going to make the world a little bit better, one step at a time. If you're all about writing and creating, having a good time, this is the place for you guys. My neck of the woods, rural Minnesota, is the best bar and grills. I bet. What you doing? Okay, we can talk about what I'll be doing. I have a little bit more in my scheduled stream. I do have some art I have to do. I'm a freelance artist. I have a custom game book I've been requested to do that I need done. I have a fencing manual I need to really grind down and polish up and get out printed. We have a lot going on, and occasionally I may game. That's where we are right now. What are you up to? And Kat, I can't imagine what that's like. Foxy, yep. And ask me the story of how I broke my hip one of these days. I'm famous around town for that story. I should say infamous. And we had Snicky came on. Yep. Snicky, kitty, yep. And get all your cartoon sound effects from Brian K. Morris, amazing author. Probably not infamous love, but you're a good patient to them. Thesis, I bet it's a great story. It's a story about a lovely fencer. Now, I've got a new... Oh, yes, I've got the new complete cover for Lines of Succession. Yes. Fuzzy co-hosts. Yes. I love that things are moving forward. Cindy does amazing work. Woot. And check out Rolls Art. Cats Fed. Let's see. Time for y'all have fun for your event. Animal Eye 7 script is finished and back to the publisher. Check out what that it'll be off to Raul for the last installment. That is incredible. The fact that you've done 7 issues of your comic book are just phenomenal. And the nurses at the orthopedic surgeon's office And nurses at local hospitals still recognize me. It's been 3 years. So, yeah, apparently it's quite a story. Dragons being made. Library Dragons now available for less than the prototype piece. So if you want a giant blue dragon wearing glasses and carrying a book and scroll, you'll need to contact me. Oh, I know some people who'd love that. Darn, out of break. I must go away and do the day job thing. Waves. Check out CKOEPP.com for Books and Dragons. Excellent. Have a great weekend. And Shug. Hey, Shug, how you doing? Playing with the emotes, and he's almost caught up. I've actually managed it. So I'm going to run some ads, and we're probably going to wind down because it's past the hour, and I do have quite a bit of things to do. But, let's get a little musical.
It's time to scan, that is the plan, with Carl and Dawn to catch a fawn or unicorn. We're so forlorn, we got a cap, so here's our rep. Munsey, we want to Munsey, because we want some points and funny badges with our modern cell phone gadgets. Munsey, we've got to Munsey. Download that app and help us cap, and you can play it too. Munsey is good exercise, good for your heart and for your thighs. Dawn is such a lovely lass. Come on, Dawn, get off your chair. Munsey, we want to Munsey, because we want some points and funny badges with our modern cell phone gadgets. Munsey, we got to Munsey. Download that app and help us cap, and you can play it too.
Hello, I'm Dan Hollifield. I'm the senior editor and publisher of Abelian Webzine, the world's oldest free creative writing e-zine since 1997. Since then, we have helped over 500 amateur writers learn what they needed to turn pro. www.aphellion-webzine.com and read not only what we've got going on right now, but 28 years worth of our archives of stories. Thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Auntie Foxy, and I'm a crafting addict. I make custom jewelry from recycled materials, and Foxy has wares if you have coin. You can find me at ndcd.org/about-auntie-foxy. I hope to see you there.
Well, let's see. Well, I have multiple cats, so they're having a good time. Sorry, we had some shenanigans. I would like to run Cat's ad before we wind up for the night.
Hi, this is Kat. During the school year, I'm Mrs. Rothermel, but otherwise, I'm Rock and Roll Art Goddess, writing about my past and filming the present. I need you to join my Rock and Roll Art army and to check out my merch on Zazzle.com. What started out as journal therapy is now 4 books, I see, and an Instagram account to blow off steam, becoming a book, with another to do the same. A short film for a friend. No, this is not the end. Peace, love, and let me art.
All right. We had a lot of greetings, and we had Morning Dan, hi Dan, bye Dan, hey Dan, and share. And share, and okay, run off because I wake up then. Story of my life. I'm sorry, your highfalutin retirement life just did not line up with my hard work schedule. The level of BS that I just shoveled. Jeff is sleeping. He had a big breakfast and is in food coma mode. Lindsay wants to go shopping anyway. Good for groceries. Food is good. Kat, is always my pleasure to run your ad. The contractor is in mid-job mode. They disappeared. Oh, exit anytime. Well, guys, as I hoping to have tons of recovery time to art. Yes, please. Ooh, Dan, I need to see the knife sheath you made. I would love to see that. And I want to see the art you're generating. I'm thinking of doing some traditional art myself. I may have found my way down the craft aisle and acquired some glow-in-the-dark acrylics. Ooh, yes, it's a good day to be me. But it is, yes, I want to see too. It has been a great episode. We have had a lot of fun. I hope everyone has been at least motivated to hit their weekend hard. Guys, I just need you to keep writing, keep drawing, keep creating, because as long as you do, you can edit it, you can improve it, but you can't edit a blank page. I love you, and you should too. Toodles.